Neither and either. How do I use these fascinating yet very complicated English words? Hello everyone, my name is Ehab and this is English with Ehab, where we talk about English, we practice it, and hopefully by the end of the lesson we learn something about it. The topic for today is neither and either. For beginning students, this is very hard to master. As a matter of fact, for intermediate and advanced students as well. There's lots of confusion with these particular words because when we construct sentences with them, there's so many things that you have to watch out for. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you plenty of examples of how to use these two words in a sentence and also when you're having a conversation with someone. The request for this video was made by one of my current beginning students. So this will be for you and for all of you guys out there who are interested in these two words. Okay, so let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get to the board. Okay, what we use these for in English when I say neither and either, you are basically saying something is the same, but it has to be negative. When I say negative, it means when we use the word not. For example, I don't like very sweet things and neither does my friend, or I don't like very sweet things and my friend doesn't either. So all we are saying is that both of us don't like very sweet things. So it is one way to use in English. There are other ways that you can do it as well, but this is the one that's probably the most common. Now, a couple of things you have to watch out for. On the board I put 4 examples. I've put here in blue how we use this word because I want you guys at home to sort of focus on it. So let's go one by one. One thing that you guys have to focus on is this verb here and this verb right here. This verb here, guys, can be any verb. For these, I decided to use don't, doesn't, and doesn't. But it can be the verb be, isn't. It could be in the past, wasn't. It could be present perfect, okay? It could be future, will not, or won't. So when we get to the conclusion, I'm going to try to use a variety of sentences so that you guys at home can see how we can use this with virtually any verb tense. Now, I don't like cold weather and neither do my friends. When you guys make a sentence with this, you have to put neither first, then we need to put the verb, and then we need to put the subject. This is what's confusing, because a lot of times we put subject and then verb coming after. Not with this grammar. We do something which is called inverting. Inverting just means we switch the verb and the subject. Now, another thing to watch out for. Notice how I put not right here. Do not or don't. When you guys use neither, we do not put the word not. Now, if you guys want to write it another way, maybe you're not comfortable with this way. I don't like cold weather and my friends don't either. This is another way that you can write it. And maybe this is something that you're more comfortable with at home. We have a subject. Then we have to put don't, okay? And then we put either at the end. So those are 2 different ways that you guys can express really the same idea. Neither do my friends or my friends don't either. Lisa doesn't take the bus and neither does her sister. When I say doesn't here, we got to make it does here. Lisa doesn't take the bus and her sister doesn't either. Again, same meaning, just completely different ways to write it. You at home, I would pick the one that you're comfortable with. When we get to the conclusion, we're going to try all types just to familiarize ourselves with it. But in the end, you pick what works for you. It's my job to introduce all of it, and then you pick the one that you are the most comfortable with. All right, guys, why don't we get to the conclusion, and let's just try some examples. The best way to do this is really just to practice it. Okay. Okay, on the board right behind me are 5 sentences. What I've done here is I've put half of them. What I'd like you guys to try to do at home, with the help from me, is to try to complete them with either using neither or either. Now, in parentheses here, I've given you the subject, and then I've given you either or neither, and it's our job to complete it. Okay, another thing I want you to point out. I decided to use different verbs, okay? Different verbs, because I want to show you how you can use this grammar with other verbs. In the beginning, all I showed you were don't or doesn't, but you can really use this with any tense. Okay, so let's go one by one. The students aren't here. And I give you the teacher and then neither. So, the students aren't here and neither is the teacher. Okay? And that's how we complete it. Couple things to point out. Okay? First of all, neither, when we're using it, that goes in the beginning. Okay? The second thing that we need is the verb. In this case, we're using the verb be. Okay? There I say are not, but keep in mind, when we say neither, should just say is. Now, the reason I change it to is and not are is because it says the teacher. So, one of the things that makes this complicated is there's so many things that you have to focus on when you construct a sentence with this grammar. So, the students aren't here and neither is the teacher. Tom wasn't at home last night and it says his roommate and then either. When we have either, it's constructed a little bit differently than neither. So, Tom wasn't at home last night and his roommate wasn't either. So, when we use either, we do have to put the verb, but we have to make sure that we include the negative. Also, neither comes at the beginning. This one comes towards the end. We have to make sure that we put the subject in the beginning. So, a lot of people tell me, students of mine, or those who are practicing English or learning the language, or those that I tutor, tell me that this might be slightly easier for them because at least there's a subject, then we have the verb after. I haven't eaten yet, and my friend, and then we have either. So, this verb tense right here is present perfect. You guys can use it with this grammar as well. So, I haven't eaten yet, and my friend hasn't either. Okay, so we got to use the verb. We make it negative. Okay, my friend hasn't or has not. I don't say haven't because my friend. Again, lots of things to watch out for. So I haven't eaten yet and my friend hasn't either. The houses won't be ready. Again, this is future tense, but it's fine. We can use it with this grammar as well. The houses won't be ready for months, and I say the roads and neither. So, and neither will the roads. So again, this one we got to start off with neither. Then we have the verb, and then the subject is at the end. Keep in mind, when we use neither, again, just as a reminder, don't put negative. So I don't say neither will not the roads. No, that's wrong. We only say not when we're using either. Present continuous or present progressive. Doesn't matter. John isn't working right now, and we have Steve, and then we have either. And, let's use blue, Steve isn't. Now, usually when we have the two verbs, isn't and then ing, you can just use isn't. If you want to use the complete verb, that's fine. Steve isn't working. But again, I'll put parentheses. Parentheses means it's optional. If you want to use it, you can. You don't have to. A lot of times when native speakers are speaking, we tend to just use that first verb. So, Steve isn't either. All right. So again, same idea. Subject, verb, and then we put either at the end. I hope this video was helpful. Believe me, I understand that this can be very, very confusing. At work, I tend to teach this at the beginning level, and for some reason, we don't really touch upon it until much, much later when the students are actually advanced or maybe at the intermediate level, and they still ask questions about this because it can be confusing. Just try to take note of the steps that you need and how the subject and the verb, all of that plays a really, really important part when you're doing this grammar. If you enjoyed the video, if you can please like and subscribe to the channel if this is something that interests you. We got more videos coming in the future. And again, feel free and make suggestions for topics that you would like me to make videos about. A lot of you guys have done that on social media. You can also do it right here on the English with Ehab channel. As always, keep on speaking English. Bye-bye for now.